Hello and welcome to Morning Tailgate. I am Big B and I'm joined by my normal guys. Hopefully, Mess gets up. I mean, I know he was joking yesterday that it'll be a game time decision for him, but uh, hopefully he'll be in. But I'm joined by the working man, Crispy Bacon. How you doing?
Doing good. Another football Sunday. One game going on right now, and then all the others starting.
Yep. And then below us, halfway around the world, is Tim Hendricks. How you doing?
Doing pretty good. It's been an interesting season so far. This game seems like it should have been on Thursday night, um, but other than that, it's been a great one so far.
All right.
But at least
And
there's
so,
touchdowns involved. So
yeah, yeah, exactly. So, with that being said, guys, anything we want to take away from last week, the Thursday night game, and halfway through the London game? I mean, I think we're all kind of still shocked that the Panthers pulled out a pretty decent victory against the Buccaneers after all the moves they made. I
yeah,
mean, I don't think anyone gave them a shot to beat the Bucks, but they sure did. So, Chris, what do you got from that stood out last week?
I would think that Tampa Bay game, the Tampa Bay Carolina game, but Brady has been off his game. I know
Mm-hmm.
family issues has been uh, kind of overlapping with his playing career, but I don't know if he should have come back.
Yeah. Well, like Chris, I think you've even alluded to it. Um, when a team talks about retirement, or when a player talks about retirement, he's pretty much retired. So you
Yeah.
know, and I think that's the thing, and I think we've seen it with Rodgers now too. He's kind of hinting that he's calling it a career at the end of the year. So, but Tim, what do you have from last week?
I was kind of interested in seeing that the return of Tua T in Miami.
Yeah.
That first drive, he was I want to say he was 6 of 6. The first drive looked amazing. It's like Miami knew how to block, and then they held up pretty well. They did everything right. All of a sudden, I think the play calling went away, but you kind of wanted to see how well, if he was going to have his first game back jitters, or if he was going to be able to stay in the pocket. On the two runs that he did have, he lowered his shoulder, and I think Dolphins fans and the team were looking at it, holding their breath, going, "I hope to God this doesn't happen again." He looked good. I think he looked pretty good. I think he went over 300, but I think they need to be. I think the play calling with in Miami needs to be a little. I like it on the offensive side of the ball, but I think they need to keep that up during the regular throughout the season. If like I said backstage with you guys, if the offense plays like the defense plays, I think Miami's going to be a team to be reckoned with if they make the playoffs.
Yeah, no doubt. Tua returning definitely was I think a lot of people were kind of seeing it, and every time he took a run or took a hit, everybody was holding their breath to make sure he got up, which he did. Good for him. So what's going on in the early Sunday game there, Chris? I believe they just went to
Yeah,
halftime.
they did. It's 10-7. Jaguars, the home team, virtual home team in the lead. I think Denver gets the ball next half.
Now, can we say, did we really need to report that Russell Wilson worked out 4 hours on the flight to London? I mean, did they really need to report that?
I think everybody was surprised that he did it on the plane.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, yeah, I mean, good for him. Found a place to work out, but
They
you
got
know, I
plenty of
just,
room, I guess. But
I just thought it was funny that
If
we're to this point that now we're breaking in on people's workouts during the flight as his team is sleeping.
I think it's funny, but that you've got to do something like that, and then you've got the kicker from the Baltimore Ravens making a comment about
uh,
it, making a video
Mr.
about it.
Unlimited. Yeah.
Oh, I missed that.
I
What
guess
was the comment about?
I guess even he thinks it's kind of ridiculous. I
Yeah, he's like,
don't know. I didn't see it, but I thought it was funny.
I'll see if I can't find it later. But
So, so Adam Barber's wanting to know if Tim's feeling a little oozy this morning. So, we'll find out with his picks because, he didn't start off so hot last week, but he finished off
Adam, I'm
strong.
always
So,
ooh. I'm,
yeah.
I'm always ooh. Always.
Yeah. So I teased in our chat that we're going to start a new segment. One tough question each week. One of us will ask a tough question. Might not have a right answer or a wrong answer. Might not have an answer at all. But my question's kind of been, kind of brewing up. I always hear teams, their caliber championship caliber team. They got the lucky bounces, stuff like that. So I've been trying to think of a way to ask the question. So I'll try my best. But can a team have a losing record and still be a championship team, and vice versa? Can a team with a winning record still not be a champion caliber team? If you guys get what I'm saying. So Tim, I'll start with you.
I don't think a losing team can have a championship type team. That'd be like saying, well, we played hard and everything went
Well, exactly.
didn't go
That's
our
where
way,
it's
but we
coming
left
from.
it all
That's
on
where
the
it's
field.
coming
Yeah,
from.
but you're still 7-10.
Yeah, and that's where it's coming from because I've heard announcers say, "Well, the team played hard, or the team put two halves together. They just could, they're still,
yeah." That's nice and everything, but it's like, oh, I did this, we did this. Yeah, you're still, but you're 6-11. You're 5-12. It's different when if you can have a winning team and not be championship worthy because you may not play cohesively, you may not play as a team, you may not play well, may not play well with others. It's possible.
And let me clarify. I guess I think
you can be one, but you can't be the other.
Yeah. So let me clarify. Yes, I get injuries are going to play a factor into a championship team having a losing record, possibly. I was more or less taking the injuries out of the factor because, that's just kind of a given. So, but Chris, can a championship team still have a losing record and just not have a good year, and vice versa? Can a non-championship team have a winning record and have a shot for the playoffs?
Wasn't the Seahawks kind of in that category of a losing record but made the playoffs one year?
Yeah, 7-9, I think it was a few years ago. I think
it is possible, but I think it's very rare.
Okay.
But then on the other side, you got a team like the Lions who keep losing, but they're playing tough football.
Exactly. That's
So it can go both ways.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for me, it's just I'm just like Tip said, we played hard today. On paper, we should have beat this team. This team, had a couple lucky breaks. To win. The Vikings were, I think, 9 games last year where they were one drive away from winning the game, but they ended up losing. So that's just, like I said, there's not a right answer, wrong answer. So next week, Chris, Dave, somebody will come up with a tough question that, we'll see how this segment goes. I thought it was kind of a cool segment, topic to bring in. So maybe we'll have a cool little slide next week with one tough question or something. The Bucks are a championship caliber team, but okay, and that's kind of proving my point right there. The Bucks are losing right now. They got the so-called GOAT, and I think a lot of people are agreeing that he's the GOAT, at least at quarterback. Tom Brady just not playing well. There's a lot of distractions going on. You could probably say the same thing about Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. Just a lot of things are going on that we're not seeing. That's they're struggling right now. So
or just Packers in general for so many years. They've had so many good quarterbacks.
Well, and that's the thing I brought up on Four Bros. Every NFL team would love to have the Packers situation at quarterback. You go from Brett Favre to Aaron Rodgers, and between the two of them, they missed what, maybe 10 games.
Well, you went from Bart start.
Well, you've had a lot of in between Bart Starr and Favre.
Well,
but
that's
I mean,
true.
they got 3 Hall of Fame quarterbacks. I get what you're saying, Chris, but from the time Favre took over to right now, Rodgers, I mean, to have 2 solid quarterbacks for that many years and only miss 10 games. I mean, I know Tim had Manning for a while, but he's been having, journeyman quarterbacks ever since Manning left. So,
well,
you had Luck
for a little bit.
Yeah, you had Luck for a while. So, all right. So let's get into our week. We'll start with the early Sunday game, the Broncos Jags. We all took the Jags. Chris,
Yeah,
you made it your lock.
I did.
So
far so good. It's not over yet, but so far so good.
Well, exactly. It's not over yet. It's halfway in. So, okay, we'll start with the Cardinals versus the Vikings. Cardinals 3-4. Vikings are 5-1. Vikings are favored by 3.5. This is my team. I know a lot of people are saying that the Cardinals are better and the Vikings should watch out, but the Vikings had over a week to watch film and study and get ready for these guys. So I'm going Vikings because they're at home. Tim?
Yeah. If you got they had their bye week last week, and
Yep.
And if you come out against the Cardinals and fall flat on your face against the Cardinals, and because you've over prepared, I've never heard that before. And you're at home.
Yep.
Yeah. It's tough to take the Vikings, not to take the Vikings at home, especially against Cardinals off a bye week. So with that, I've got the Vikings.
And that's what too is. It's always judged by the bye week. Once you get the bye week, it's like, okay, well, that coach is, undefeated at home, but he's 1-3 on the road or whatever. So after the bye week, it's kind of where, and with O'Connell being the first time coach, this is where he's going to be judged at. So, Chris, who do you have?
I got Minnesota in this game. Arizona has lost the last 10 games in Minnesota. So things have not gone their way. So I'm picking Minnesota.
All right, Chris, with the stats tonight. All right. So we got the 2-5 surprising Carolina Panthers last week versus the 3-4 Falcons. Falcons are favored by 4. So Tim, who do you have in this game?
I'm gonna run with the hot hand. I'm gonna run with Carolina. I think Carolina is playing with a chip on their shoulder, thinking that they've got nothing to lose. They're which makes them a very dangerous team. Mm-hmm. That's when you've got somebody that's got nothing to lose. I all bets are off. I've got Carolina.
Chris?
I got Atlanta in this game. I think Carolina had their one game yet last week.
Okay. Actually, both of them have pretty much nothing to lose. I think a lot of people, pick Carolina, but Carolina started making these trades, didn't start off so hot. So, and Atlanta, I think everybody just thought it was going to be a rebuilding year once Matty Ice left. So, I'm going to go Atlanta. I think it's going to be a close game. Might be a Thursday night style game, but I think it's going to be close. We got the mighty 3-4 Chicago Bears versus the 5-2 Cowboys, who lost a fan this week because of some controversy. So, and it wasn't Chris. So, Chris, this is your team. What's up?
Yeah, I mean, Zeke's not playing today, so Pollard's going to be running back number 1. It'd be interesting to see how that works out. A lot of fans want that. Hopefully that happens. And I'm picking the Cowboys.
All right, Tim.
When I heard Zeke wasn't going to be out, I thought, well, that could be a bad sign, especially considering I got him on a couple of my fantasy teams. But I like Pollard better than I like Zeke. I'm with Bacon on this. I really like Pollard. I think he's gonna be he's the suitable number 2, but we're gonna see what he looks like at number 1. I take the Cowboys.
All right. Yeah, Cowboys, another team too that it seems like anytime they plug somebody in, they do decent. The Bears, on the other hand, every time they plug somebody in, seem to falter. So I'm going with Cowboys. Pollard going to be the head oos tonight. So we'll definitely,
Who's
yep, we're going to definitely see what he can do.
He's the
Um,
honorary Oosh.
honorary oos tonight.
he's the
Yeah.
he's the cowboy oos.
There you go.
So we got the three Dolphins favored by 3.5 over the Lions at 1-5. Tim, who do you have in this game?
I have been spiked in the face too many times by the Detroit Lions to pick the Detroit Lions. It wouldn't be oosy of me to take the Lions, so I'm taking the Dolphins.
All right, I think we're gonna have to start getting an Uzi clock to see how many times we can
I
work
know,
Uzi
right?
into it. Chris, who do you have?
I got the Dolphins. I mean, it's on the road. Lions are a tough team. Detroit's a tough environment when they're on a winning streak or somewhat kind of, not on a winning streak, but they're up there.
Yeah,
Uh, but I got two of the Dolphins.
and the Lions are one of those teams too that looked pretty good at the start of the season. Yeah, the defense wasn't there, but they're hanging their own, and they done Lion things. Um, and then you got Dolphins and Tua. Can they get back on that magic moment? I mean, we saw, or we were talking about the stats beforehand. Tua's only got 9 touchdowns, 6 of them in one game. So, and they're still sitting at 4-3. So, I'm going to go with the Dolphins. I like the Lions defense, and if they could get Tua, this game could totally look different. So, we got
Yep.
the 2-4 Raiders, who are 1 point over the 2-5 Saints. So, Chris, who do you have in this game?
I got New Orleans. They're playing at home. It's a tough environment. Uh, they've been playing okay, but not the best. But I still pick them.
All right, Tim.
I get vilified in my own house that I'm taking the Saints because everybody likes
Uh-oh.
they think that the Saints aren't that good, but I seem to take them every week. They're kind of like my Rams, which kind of shoot me in the face all the time. So I'm still gonna take the Saints though.
Yeah, it's tough for me. I mean, this is one of the games. I probably sound like a broken record. You pretty much take the home team on this one, so I'm going to go the Saints. Neither team's stellar, but when they are stellar, they look very winnable. So we got the three Pats, who are favored by 3 over the 5-2 Jets. For me, I'm going to go with the Jets, and I'm going to take them as my lock this week over the Patriots. I think New York teams are not a team to be reckoned with this year. And the Pats are kind of up and down, and Belichick's playing the I kind of don't know who my starting quarterback is going to be. It could be him, it could be this guy. So I'm going to go with the Jets. Chris?
I'm going with the Jets too, but I think the Patriots should just start a quarterback and just leave it alone. Uh, they played better with Zappy,
Yeah.
but I still pick the Jets.
All right. Tim?
I just don't like the Patriots. It's just I've never had such a hatred for a team in my life. With that being said, I'm still taking the Jets.
All right. Yeah. The Patriots are one of those teams that, when they were on top, everybody hated them. Now that they're struggling, everybody still hates them. So, all right, we got the 2-5 Steelers versus the 6-0 Eagles. Eagles are favored by a lot, 11 points. So, I'll be shocked if anybody goes the opposite way. Tim?
I like I said, I watched that Dolphins game this week. I saw nothing that impressed me with Kenny Pickett. Three picks. he forces too much. I understand he's a rookie, and you force that stuff against the Philadelphia Eagles, they are going to make you hurt. This is a team that's not going to lose their O for a while. I'm going to make the Eagles my lock this week.
Wow. All right, Eagle fans, I'd be worried. So, but Chris, how about you?
I know for the sake of the division, I should pick the Steelers, but like like Jim said, Pickett hasn't been playing all that well, and it's hard to win in Philadelphia. So I'm picking the Eagles.
Yeah, I mean, Pickett with the picks. I mean, granted, I think a lot of us thought Pickett was going to be the starter in Philly, and we didn't think they were going to be a playoff run, but we thought we'd see a lot more of them.
Yeah,
Rookie jinx or whatever you want to call it. But again, they're kind of rebuilding right now. Shocked
I'll be
Tomlin
happy if they
still,
win, but
yeah. I mean, I'm still kind of shocked Tomlin still stuck around for the rebuild process, but I'm going with the Eagles too. So, all right. So we got the 4-2 versus the 1-4-1 Texans. This game right now is at even. So, Chris, who do we have?
I got Tennessee, and it's going to be led by Derrick Henry,
All
considering
right.
they're using their backup quarterback.
Yeah, another quarterback that should have been the starter. So, Tim Hendricks, who do you got?
I as much as I want to see Houston win this game, as much as I would love to see Houston win this game, I think it's going to come. It's going to be a close game. I honestly think it's going to be a close game because I saw a little bit of Malik Willis last week against the Colts, and he really. I have to caveat this with I understand he's a rookie, but it's still Derrick Henry. Until teams learn how to stop Derrick Henry, it's still going to be Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
It's going to be close, but I got Tennessee against it to take this in a close game. I think it's going to be within a field goal.
Yeah, with Willis starting, another rookie, as we talked about, but you got to stop Henry. Maybe they'll focus more on Henry because they got a rookie quarterback. They want to see what he can do. The kid could probably still make some plays. He's got some decent receivers on both sides of him, and Henry coming out of the backfield. So,
Speaking of running,
go ahead. No, go ahead.
Speaking of running the ball, the Broncos just scored.
All right. So I'm going Titans. So, all right, we got the 3-4 Commanders versus the 3-3-1 Colts. Colts are favored by 3. Tim, your team, if you still claim them.
I'll still claim them. I've been there for 3-13. I can claim a 3-3-1 team. It's interesting. It comes out this week that Frank Reich benches Matt Ryan, the guy we're paying $24 million for. That's a lovely thing. For a guy I thought should have been given a chance a little bit more in the preseason to given time to with Sam Ellinger. The good thing about Ellinger, which is the exact bad thing about Matt Ryan, is that Ellinger can scramble. So he's not a quarterback that's going to sit in the pocket. He's not going to sit there and wait for people to get open. He's going to go make something get open, which is good. It's what we need, considering the offensive line hasn't played as well as it should. This is supposed to be the revenge game. This is supposed to be the revenge game with Carson Wentz, with no Carson Wentz. With that being said, I like Sam Ellinger. I don't like the Red Commanders defense. I've got the Colts winning this game.
All right, Chris, how about you?
I got Washington winning it. Ellinger's going to play well, but I don't think he's maybe lead the team. But Heineke's been playing really well as a starter in his career, so we'll see if that continues.
And that's the thing with both these teams. Allen everybody thought, especially Tim, thought maybe he should have got a crack at it, being a young guy in preseason and shouldn't have paid Matt Ryan. You got Heineke, another guy too that took him to the playoffs, almost beat the Bucks. Come in and thought maybe he had a chance for the job. They go out and sign Wentz. Now he's the backup. Now he's starting again. I'm going to the Commanders on this one. I think I'm with Tim though. I think this could be a close game. It would not shock me either way who wins. And the Colts definitely need the win to keep up with those Titans. So, all right, we got the 3-4 49ers who we got to see a little Purdy last week. I heard so.
Does that count? Does that count? I'm just playing.
Does it
It
count?
counts. He got in.
It counts, right?
And we got the 3-3 Rams, and this game's marked as even on ESPN. So, Chris, who do we got in the Niners Rams game?
I got the home team Rams. It's gonna be a battle though.
All right, Tim.
This is one of those teams. This is one of those games that's going to be close. Again, This is Garofalo doesn't lose to the Rams. I don't know how many times I'm going to take the Rams this year and regret it. I'm gonna go with the hot hand against the Rams. I'm gonna go with Garofalo and the 49ers.
Oh, go with the Niners. I got the Rams. I just for some reason I'm still sticking with my fantasy number 1 and number 2 pick with Kupp and Stafford. I mean, I know they're down. Niners, I still don't. I think this Niners team probably would look a lot different if they would have had Jimmy G start from week 1 instead of having the controversy. They got CMC, so we'll see what he can do. This game again, I think it's going to be a close one. I don't think we're going to get a blowout unless the Rams learn how to play some football. So I don't think we'll see Purdy this week. Excuse me, guys. We got the 6-1 Giants versus the surprising Seahawks, and Seahawks are favored by 3. So, Chris, who we have in this game?
I'm going to go with Seattle.
Okay. Tim?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Crispy. I picked for your Cowboys. I think I've picked everybody except for the Commanders in your division. I wish I had better news for you. So I'm going to take the Oos pick of the day, the Oosie pick of the day. I'm going to take the Giants.
Yeah, I'm really shocked that they're 3. I mean, pretty much it's an even game because you always get the home team 3 points if you're in Vegas. That's what the rumors are. Giants are one of those teams that are just doing it all around. And so I got to keep going with the hot hand. I mean, I know we talked about Geno Smith and getting that stuff done in Seattle, unlike his counterpart over in Denver now, but I gotta go to the Giants, 6-1. So this game, I know there's gonna be a few Packer fans that are probably not even gonna want to watch this game. We got the 3-4 Packers versus the 5-1 Bills. Bills favored by 10.5. Tim, who do you have in this game?
Being a former Wisconsinite, I'm not going to make Packer fans happy. I'm not even going to make them look. I'm not even going to. It's better if they just have warm milk and go to bed before the game because this is how ugly it's going to be. This game is going to be Buffalo. If it's not by 21, something happened in Buffalo. It's Buffalo's going to win this, and they're going to win this huge, big.
Yeah. Well,
and there was a stat that came out that stat that came out sometime this week that Aaron Rodgers has been underdog double digits 5 times. He's lost all 5 times, and they've all been by more than the stat by the
Wow.
line.
Wow.
Wow. Chris, how about you?
I got Buffalo in this game until proven otherwise. I'm not feeling comfortable with Rodgers. Normally, I would say go with Green Bay, but they've been struggling. So Buffalo.
Yeah, I mean, Tim, you know my family, half of them are Packer fans, and I know they're going to be whining and, you know. So, yeah, we're going with the Bills. I'm sorry, Uncle John, Nikki, my Aunt Tammy, rest in peace, Jamie, all those guys. I'm going to go with the Bills. Um, so we go to the Monday night game. The 3-4 Bengals are favored by 3 over the 2-5 Browns. Tim, who do you have?
I've got the Cleveland Bengals. I really like that. I don't think they lose to the Cincinnati Browns.
All right, Tim's going with the Bengals. Chris.
Yeah, I'm going with the Bengals too. I mean, Burrow's been playing really well. Cleveland, not so much.
All right. Just for the sake of arguments, I'll go with the Browns. I mean, I think it's gonna be a close one. It might be one of those boring Monday night games, but so with that
Right
being
into
said,
Thursday.
yeah, who knows? Those Thursday games have been brutal too. Um, so yeah, guys. Just looking at the games here. Let's see here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 games we all picked the same as. So our records are not going to look good this week if one of us has a bad week. So, and we know Dave's always good for a game or two where he'll pick out the underdogs because that's what he likes to do. So you guys do what you want with those picks. Most of the time we tell you to pick opposite. So, all right, Chris, let's get into our staple topics here. So, let's get to our ad and our topics, please.
K&A Custom Crafts on Facebook.
All right, our first topic is Chris's history moment.
Oh.
Professor Chris, what do we got going on?
We're going to stick in the AFC South and go with the Houston Texans. I don't think I've done this team. They started in 2001, I believe, shortly after the Tennessee Titan or the Houston Oilers moved to Tennessee. They were awarded a franchise back in Houston. They've been an up and down team. I think Derek Carr's brother played for that team at first. He was drafted to Houston. They've had some few successes, but it's just been kind of downhill from there. They've made a couple playoff appearances, not a Super Bowl, even though they've hosted a Super Bowl or two, and they're still looking for their first.
All right, yeah. I mean, that's got to be a little bit of, I know Dallas runs Texas, but I mean, probably going to be that redheaded stepchild, as we like to call it in Houston, or in Texas until they can start winning. So,
Yeah.
They came in. They were established in '99 when they were awarded the team. That was shortly after the Oilers left. 2002 was 2002 was their first season. So, they've had some pretty decent players there. They made the playoffs 6 times. So, and each time was when they won the NFC South. So,
And there's a stretch where they kept facing the Bengals in the wild card.
yeah. So, anywho, so let's move on. Chris, let's do the second topic.
I don't know if you want to.
Yeah, we can do that one. That one will work. So,
Okay.
All right. So, what that means is November 1st, me and Tim Hendricks has our own show, not Central Time in the morning. We're calling it C2C Rank 'em, where we're gonna sit there and rank different topics. We got four stellar topics that we're gonna do this week. We're still not gonna release them. We want you guys to tune in, and we also will replay the Rank 'em show at night. So Tim, we'll go to you with your prime five.
Well, you brought it up earlier about our picks and everything else, and we did a preseason pick. If y'all watched the preseason pick, preseason shows that we did where we picked on who was going to be in the Super Bowl and who we thought were going to make the playoffs. Well, it got me to looking back what Las Vegas has right now as their top 5 teams to make the Super Bowl.
Oh, okay.
This might be the kiss of death for somebody, or it might be the best thing that you could hear, but it's what I saw, and this is the first one to me was shocking when I saw number 5 was the San Francisco 49ers.
Oh.
They've got the San Francisco 49ers with the fifth best odds to make the Super Bowl.
Wow.
Considering if they had started Jimmy Garoppolo in week 1, this team might actually be 2, 3. We'd be a lot. They'd be the odds would be a whole lot better. The number 4 team.
Wait, you said they got the Niners as the fifth, and they're sitting at 4-3.
That's Vegas. That's Las Vegas.
Okay, all right. I can't wait to see what the top 4 teams are. All right.
Well, you're gonna like the 4th team then. The 4th team they've got is the Minnesota Vikings.
Okay, well at least they got a winning record. I mean,
yeah, it could also be they might also be the Uzi kiss of death too. You never know.
Well, the one problem with Minnesota I see is that 1, they need to close out games better, and 2, they got to play better against tougher teams. So I'm not hating the pick.
They need to quit playing down the teams.
Yeah.
They just need to quit playing down, and if they quit playing down, they could easily be the number 2 seed, easily, if not the 1 seed. The 3rd team they've got is one of the teams that that a lot of us have in the Super Bowl is the Kansas City Chiefs.
At number 3, okay.
Yeah.
At number 3, I think what is Kansas City? Their only loss is to my Colts.
Nope, they got 5. They're 5-2. They
5-2. Who they lose to? I know they lost to the Colts. I know they lost to the Colts.
Lost to the Colts and they lost to the Bills.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago they lost to the Bills.
I picked the Chiefs as my lock. That's right.
Yeah. But again, this is everybody had. I think if you had 10 people pick, 5 people had this team coming out of the AFC.
Yep.
And we all know what the other 5 people had coming out of the AFC were not number 2. They've got number 2. They've got the undefeated 6-0 Philadelphia Eagles.
Okay.
But then again, they're playing in. Honestly, I think I can see why they're number 2 is because they're playing in a very tough NFC East. You got 3 teams.
A couple years ago, we said that was the worst
division.
So
we did, yeah.
Now you've got 3 teams that have a combined record of what is it? They've only got like 3 losses combined. In your top 3 teams.
Yeah, 3 losses combined.
Because you got Philly with nothing. You got Philly with 0. You've got Dallas with 2. And
Giants with 1.
The Giants with 1. Right. So I can understand that, which makes the Eagles' trip to the Super Bowl a little more tougher coming out of the NFC. But then again, it's the NFC. That proves that the NFC is a little more wide open to make the Super Bowl off of on that side. Considering who they've got as number 1, they've got the Buffalo Bills as their number 1 team to make the Super Bowl out of the AFC.
And that, they're sitting 5-1.
Again,
their differential is 95. That defense is scary. The offense is scary. So yeah, I mean, outside of probably the Niners, I don't disagree with a lot of those picks. I mean, it'll be interesting to look more. And Tim, I don't know if you can pull it up, but where the Giants are ranked, where maybe even Baltimore is ranked, but to have the Niners there, I mean, unless they know something that we don't know, and I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, it's fixed" and stuff like that. But I was actually just kind of looking while you're doing that, the Eagles, schedule. Of course, they got the Steelers tonight. They got Texans on the 3rd.
When
That's a Thursday night game? Really? Oh,
yep,
boy. Woo.
feel bad for Philly.
Yeah. Then they got the Commanders at home. They got the Colts on the road. They got the Packers at home. And then the Titans at home. And then Giants. So Titans and Giants could be where that O might turn into an Uzi 1. So, because I don't see them losing anywhere else before that. So,
Or they got Dallas on Christmas Eve.
well, yeah, I was just going up until I saw a tough
Right.
game. So,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah. So, all right, Chris, let's roll into our third topic. Just
Yeah.
play one of the ads. Yeah.
Mm.
All right, we got the Bo Dean book, Race Against Race. Again, check it out on Amazon. Big East Conference has endorsed it. You can check out Bo Dean and Joe on Wednesday for the Bo and Joe show. So our topic 3 is stop messing around. So kind of talked about it beforehand. Guys, it's week 8. What have we learned this year? So, Chris, I'll start with you. What have we learned in the short season?
That it's any given Sunday, teams can surprisingly win when they're supposed to lose. Brady shouldn't have returned to the NFL. Rodgers shouldn't have came back or whatever. And Russell Wilson should have stayed in Seattle.
All right. Tim?
Wow.
What have you learned?
I've learned that Crispy steals all my stuff. I learned that. Wow, I learned a lot. That's a tough question. I can understand why Dave's taking a nap. It's maybe maybe the fact is that New York finally knows how to play football. Think about it. If you think about
True.
it, yeah.
look at the teams that consider the state of New York home: Buffalo, the Giants, and the Jets.
Yep.
It's shocking. Where last year everybody was talking about the Buffalo Bills and thinking, well, in 2-3 years, maybe the Jets and the Giants will be a hint. Maybe it's a fluke. Who knows what the Jets and the Giants are? But it's nice to see the Jets and the Giants being talked about in the same sentence with records like they've got with the Chiefs and the Bills and the Cowboys and the Eagles. It's nice to see them where you can actually look at them going, instead of them being the laughing stock, it's now, okay, I can watch the Giants. Now you're scared of the Giants. Now you're scared of the Jets. I think you learn that, it may not be year to year this year, but maybe next year. And that's exactly what the Giants and the Jets got. It's this year.
Yep. No doubt. I mean, New York's definitely turned from Yankees, Mets to Giants, Jets. I mean, you can't talk about the Knicks because I don't know even if Knicks knows where the Knicks are. So, and the Rangers for hockey. I mean, again, another team that's kind of disappeared. So yeah, it's turned into a football town. For me, I mean, Chris nailed it. Brady, once you talk retirement, should stay retired. Get your personal life together. Concussions, God, NFL really needs to do something about that. Dolphins, speaking of concussions, Tua might be the real deal. Who knows? the Vikings, are sitting on top right now. Who would have thought that? I think we all picked the Packers to, be there. Uh,
Yeah.
Panthers, I think we all kind of figured they would be good, and they started trading off stuff. Still trying to figure out what's going on in San Fran. A lot of young quarterbacks going to get their shots next few weeks. So we're starting to see that today. Out with the old, in with is one thing, and Philly. I think Philly's kind of shocking a lot of people at sitting at 6-0. Really looking like a true Super Bowl contender. So, and like Chris said, any given Sunday, that's all it takes. Great movie, great slogan. We'll see what moves on. So, all right, Chris, let's go into our final topic, the big baller topic.
Yeah.
I know everybody was waiting for this one.
I think it's the Oregon Cougars.
Yeah, we can do Oregon Cougars football.
Okay.
We are the home of the Oregon Cougars football. Women's Professional League. Our beloved J-Mac is the voice of them on here, so please check us out. We are still in talks of getting a weekly show started up with, Joanne's going to do some interviews, stuff like that. So we got some work, so please check us out. My big baller, like I did last year, I throw it out there, and seems like they throw a dud. Who would have thought Tom Brady would have had 2 bad weeks back to back? This week, man, looking at the games, the obvious pick would be to go Allen and Diggs. I think they're going to light it up, but I'm not going to do that because I don't want to give the Packers any leverage.
You don't?
No, I don't. God, I don't know where I'm going to go with this one. Let's go with you know what? Let's go with Pollard being the number 1 oos in the Cowboys organization. So we'll go with Pollard's going to have a big game against the Mighty Bears.
Oh,
yeah.
that's
Sorry,
the
Chris.
Oos jinx. The Oos jinx.
Yeah, that's what we could call it, is the Oos jinx. I don't know. So, but anyways, guys. So let's look at. I still got 14-10 here.
Yeah,
Going
got
into
that
the
too.
fourth quarter.
I've
But
got
the Jaguars have
14-10.
been playing. Jaguars been playing good defense, so
Yeah, defense typically is what takes you to the championship game. So, let's see. Any late breaking player news here?
No Waller.
Okay, no Waller. Okay. Browns are now willing to trade Hunt. I see that's breaking here.
Saints looking to trade Kamara.
Wow. Okay.
They want a CMC type deal for Kamara.
really.
Yep.
Oh God, that's tough. I mean,
It's tough.
I mean, but they did get a first round pick, so
but
they got what, second, third, and a fourth this year.
a second, a third, and a fourth. But the thing is, Kamara's looking at a 6-game suspension next year, isn't he?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I guess I missed
I
that.
thought he was looking at a suspension after his nice little, what is it, Las Vegas fun? I can't remember what that was.
Texas are open to trading Cook. McCaffrey and Lockett are ready to play.
What was it? I heard that Denver was looking to trade Judy.
Yep. Yeah, I saw that last week that they're so no big injury updates. I mean, Titans ruled out Tannehill, which we already covered. Willis will be getting the start there.
Shaq Leonard's going to be there for Indy.
Okay.
Yeah, because the trade deadline is Tuesday.
Yep.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. I think all the big moves have been made. Unless you're a team. I mean, we said last week. Unless you're a team on the bye week that wants to, make a move after today to get them in, so they can practice all week with the team.
I got a question.
What's up?
I got your Kansas City made that move for Kadarius Toney.
Okay.
Yeah,
Why would you make a trade for somebody who's injury prone ever since he's been in the league? He's been in the league. He was drafted last year. I think they gave up a second or a third,
something like that. Yeah.
And I think isn't he hurt right now? He seems to always be questionable.
Well, I think if he's on the injury report, I mean, unless it's questionable, but I think if he's, I don't know. NFL's kind of weird because I know in MLB, if they're on the injured list, you can't trade them.
Yeah, you can't trade them.
You know, so, but that's the thing we've been saying for Kansas City for the last 2 years is you go and retool your offense and you do nothing on defense, you know, and just think if that team would have, you know, done something on defense, you know.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know.
It makes no sense. I like the kid.
Yeah.
I like the kid because he was at Florida, and the thing is, and the strange thing is, when he was at Florida, he was almost never hurt. It seemed like the moment he stepped in training camp with the Giants, and it seemed like all of a sudden he got the pro bug, and next thing you know, he's completely he finds his way on the injury list every week.
He's faking it. He didn't want to play that.
Gotta be.
Gotta be, yeah. So on the Kamara situation.
Yeah.
His trial or whatever has been delayed.
Okay.
Until November 9th.
Oh, so it's coming up.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Right.
Are the Saints on a bye week this week? Next week?
No.
So they're not on a bye week when he goes to court. That's a nice way to get a day off.
Yeah. Look at it.
Have you guys been watching on Viceland? There's a TV show called The Dark Side of Football.
No, I've seen they've been bringing out a lot of these dark side stuff. I started with wrestling stuff.
It was interesting because I watched it today, and they were talking about the injuries and the way that and it's funny how this show comes out after the Tua thing. The whole Tua injury and the whole thing, and they were talking about how the doctors hide injuries and how they used to hide injuries back in the day to get the players, and how the players how the players themselves were hiding injuries so they can get on the field so they don't lose a job. And they bring up Drew Brees, what was his name? The quarterback in New England.
Drew Bledsoe.
Bledsoe. They were talking about Bledsoe. They were talking about how when Bledsoe got hurt and he lost his job, then and it made everybody want to hide their injuries, to hide what they were doing. So and it was interesting. So if you guys get a chance to watch it, I absolutely recommend it. I watch all the dark side of comedy, dark side of wrestling. The Vice has got some really good shows, especially with the dark side stuff.
Okay, and that's not. And if correct me if I'm wrong, that's not actually coming from.
No, that's not done by the NFL. That's not done by. Yeah, that's like they're not.
It's not a fish. What's the word I'm thinking of? It's not.
It's not licensed by the NFL.
Yeah, there you go.
It's these players doing it by themselves. It had Kyle Turley, it had Reggie, it had Ricky Williams, it had all these other players. The wrestling one. The wrestling one is really interesting because it's produced by Chris Jericho.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Chris Jericho's the executive producer, and it's interesting. And if the dark side of the football is going to be anything like the dark side of wrestling, it's definitely something I would recommend watching.
Well, they only made 6 episodes last year.
Right.
Yeah, they're slowly putting, and I think, speaking of the wrestling one, I think wrestling's trying to put a kibosh on it.
The wrestling ones, they've done 3 seasons of the wrestling one.
Well.
They're interesting to watch.
Oh, it is. I mean, it's, to get the behind the scenes,
right.
And that's one thing I think a lot of fans, enjoy is getting what's going on in the locker room, what's going on.
Yeah.
Especially when the drafts come up. We all want to be in the. It's like, God, let's get a camera. What are they thinking? Could I be a final?
That's why I like the movie Draft Day. I know it wasn't exactly like that, but it's close enough.
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I love Draft Day. That's one of my favorite movies. Who knows? Could be on our C2C Rankum show one of these days,
Ooh.
possibly. So anyway, so guys, got a few minutes here. Let's go around, give a wrap. Tim.
I want to thank everybody for watching, listening, watching us on the Fire Stick, watching us on YouTube, right here on Facebook. Again, like Brandon says, we're going to be starting a new show on November 1st. Hopefully, we get everybody that watches here and our other shows can watch us on Tuesday.
Yep. Chris.
Yeah, great shows coming to the network. Stay tuned for that. Hopefully, everybody's teams wins today, and it's going to be a good football Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard, Chris, for every team to win. So
Oh, I know.
half of them
I'm
got to
saying if you're
lose.
rooting for your team, hopefully they win.
No, I'm just messing with you, but yeah, thanks for everybody for joining. Definitely check us out all week long. Tonight we got Between the Ropes. Like I said, Tuesday, turned into an action-packed kickoff of the season premiere of Rankum. So I can't wait for that. Kind of excited for that. And also, I want to give a big shout out to my sister Kayla. Brought my nephew into the world yesterday, about 2:00 yesterday. So became an uncle for the 7th time. So
Very
shout out to
oozy.
her, and yeah,
Very, very oozy.
over. Yeah. So, but anyway, so with that being said, check us out next week on Morning Tailgate. Have a good night.